Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of our podcast, Did You See? Yeah, guess what? We actually picked a name in this very episode, so you get to hear the exact moment that the heavens opened up, the seas parted, and our name was birthed. Did you see? That's the name of the podcast. Anyway, as always, we talk about movies, TV shows, comics, and we also talk about random stuff. But if you like stories about street fights, hallucinations about killer boulders, gushing blood, alien abductions, this episode is where you live. This, I promise you, to quote NSYNC, the great NSYNC. But also we talk about, we try to figure out what kind of superpower physical resistance is. We have a guess. Do you? I don't think so. Think about it. We give you our thoughts on what a Wonder Woman movie should look like. We explore Ian's surprisingly technical knowledge of mixed martial arts. And then we try out some intriguing questions about each other, which turn into some pretty good anecdotes. And Stellan Skarsgård naked comes up more times than it should ever on any podcast or any conversation. So, listen to our podcast, and we hope you enjoy the shit out of it. Welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is yet to be unnamed. We can just call it the Unnamed Podcast because we have decided.
Yeah, I mean, for now, it's just we're just kind of going with it.
We don't know the name of it, and we don't know how frequent it is. We don't know.
Yeah. We're really put together here, folks.
Yeah.
So it's me, JP,
and Ian. Hi.
And I'm Gino.
What's
Hello.
up?
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Hi, Gino.
Wait, hold on. Gino,
it's weird. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on a second. Just say something real quick.
Are you guys drinking right now?
No.
No.
we're not. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've got to prepare. We're preparing for the Pacquiao fight for tomorrow. We're going to have a bunch of people over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Manny Pacquiao versus Brandon Rios, which the weigh-ins are going on right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's on HBO.
How about, what's his name? Freddie Roach and Ariza get into that fight.
My God, man. Did you watch the videos?
I saw, like, the clip on it on SportsCenter.
Okay, they're like video. They did it in front of a bunch of cameras.
Is it not for 24/7?
I don't know what it was for. The person that was interviewing Garcia at the time was like this Filipino lady.
Uh-huh.
And it's and so I don't think it was for 24/7, which I haven't seen any of them yet.
I haven't either. They're on demand.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look it up. Hopefully they replay them all tonight because I want to see it in HD because we don't have it. We don't have it in HD. But it was really weird because what happened was they were like, I guess Rios's camp. They were doing an interview with Robert Garcia, and Rios's camp was in the gym 20 minutes longer than they were supposed to be. And Freddie Roach comes up to him and tells him to leave. I guess they had been sitting there waiting for them to leave for a while. He said that he saw Rios jump roping, and usually a jump rope means the end of the training session. But he's jump roping, and then he gets on, I think, an elliptical after that, and he goes up there, and Roach was kind of weird about it. He started talking shit. He just goes like, he was like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. It's our turn. And then he says, and then Robert Garcia's like, no, we're not getting. I'm not going anywhere.
Like, now that's not typically normal, like for them to share a gym, right? So close to the fight.
I don't know. I mean, they had, I don't know. I have no idea. But they had their times that they're supposed to be in there. Garcia was running long. So they just, he gets into it. And then Alex Ariza starts jumping in.
Yeah.
And he starts making fun of Freddie Roach's Parkinson's. Like, he starts doing his Parkinson's voice to Freddie Roach. And that pissed him off.
I mean, understandably, though.
Roach did call Garcia out of nowhere. He called him a piece of shit, but I think he was already pissed off. And then Ariza, like, he starts making fun of Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach starts coming towards him. And then Ariza somehow, like, kicks Freddie Roach in the chest.
As Roach was walking towards Ariza.
Yeah. Kind of coming towards him. But there's also a bunch of people in between the two of them. It's not like Roach was going to attack him or anything.
Yeah.
But Ariza just kicks him in the chest, and they start, like, throwing out all this stuff at each other. Ariza uses the F word towards Freddie Roach. And out of nowhere, just uncalled for. And then, I don't know.
Well, there's like a big history.
Ariza
was like the former conditioning coach of Pacquiao.
Right.
So, and then they had a bad breakup a couple years ago.
I think it was
a year ago.
Year.
Oh,
I think it was last year. Yeah, it was a year ago.
Just fired him after the last fight, I think.
After the last fight. And we totally have, I go, Brienne, Jape and I totally have a picture with that guy from my bachelor party.
I remember that picture. So that's the guy.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's the guy.
And I don't remember taking that picture at all.
Then I'm just kidding.
No, he was like our hero then.
Ooh.
Because he was like really integral into Manny Pacquiao's training.
Gotcha.
You know?
Never meet your heroes. Just never meet your
Well, he
heroes.
was cool.
Oh, he was totally cool that night, if I remembered it. I remember the next day you were like, hey, we got a picture with Alex Ariza last night. I was like, when?
Gino
You were like,
remember that.
yeah, I was like, when did that happen?
Amazing.
Yeah, I told Alex Ariza, I was like, hey, when are you gonna train me? He was like, I told him if I pop this shirt off, it looks exactly like Manny Pacquiao. You won't be able to tell the difference. He goes, oh, I bet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, seems kind of like a cool guy.
Yeah, except for, like when he just starts talking shit,
Apparently.
making fun of a guy with Parkinson's.
Yeah, you know.
and calls him a faggot.
Fair.
And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you? I don't know. He's got problems.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
And then Roach is being accused of saying racist stuff, but all he said was like, there was this ghetto Mexican guy coming at him, and he just called him. He said something, "You fucking Mexican."
Ooh.
Well, he was like, "You Mexican
really?
motherfucker." But I mean, what is that? Is that racist though?
I mean, I don't
I mean,
like...
the guy is Mexican, and he is a motherfucker anyway.
Fair.
So, I mean, like,
All
I
these
don't
things
know.
are fair. I mean, it's not... It's not...
Is that racist?
No, not if it's true. I'm just
Think
kidding.
about it this way. Would the
That's terrible.
Think about it this way. Would the Mexican guy get so much shit if in the middle of this whole skirmish, he said to Freddie Roach, he was like, "Come at me, you fucking white boy." Would he get mad? Would people be mad about that?
No, probably not.
No.
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 No way.
Yeah.
But from what I see, most like Hispanic people like that I know, and a lot of the comments they were sticking up for Roach and saying like he's not being racist.
Yeah,
he's far from racist. He trains a
Interesting.
shitload of Mexican fighters.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
to say that he's racist against Mexicans is pretty.
It's kind of hard to... It's hard to stick. It's hard to stick.
But,
Okay.
Anyway, have you got? So Gino, you saw Thor.
I
saw
haven't
Thor.
seen Thor yet, even though my boyfriend's in it. And he's the cuter Hemsworth.
Stellan Skarsgård.
No. That'd be funny, though. No, Anthony Hopkins.
I was going to say that.
No, Chris Hemsworth.
Chris
I
Hemsworth.
love him so much. And, like, my friends all make fun of me because they're like, clearly Liam's the cuter Hemsworth. And
No way.
no,
Oh,
right?
no way. There's
Right?
no way.
Thank you.
He's like the
Thank you,
lesser-
my straight cousins.
He's like the lesser. He's like the lesser. Like he's like a clone. Like
Yeah.
kind of a carbon copy in terms of like not as good as the original one.
I mean,
kind of looks like him.
You lose something. You lose something every time you make a copy.
Exactly. It is.
The carbon copy.
I don't know, maybe it's just like to each his own because, like, you know, Liam's kind of more svelte than Chris, and I like my beefcakey, so it just kind of it kind of is that, but I haven't seen Thor yet, and I feel really bad, and he must be really mad at me because, you know,
I am.
we talk. We talk all the time.
Well, I'm upset because now, Gino, we can't talk about the post-credit sequence.
Oh,
yeah,
man, I'm sorry.
the post-credit scene. Thor was fantastic. It was really good. Yeah.
I hear really good things. I hear people saying that, you know, it's still like, it's like Marvel is still like a viable sort of powerhouse for these movies, and they're still not like, they're still sort of on this trajectory to like just continue to make really good movies and that challenge this idea of what a superhero movie needs to be. And that makes me really excited. So of course I'm going to see it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when
they
was that
definitely-
ever called into question?
there's like a lot of like, you know, there are like people who are out there who are just waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know, and they're just kind of like, they're just waiting for the first clunker, and a lot of people are actually looking at Guardians of the Galaxy to be that first one. But I feel like I feel like it's shaping up to be really good, and Zoe Saldana, who I love, is like super proud of the work that they did for Guardians of the Galaxy, and I feel like she doesn't, you know, just say stuff like that lightly. So I trust her.
I think the hardest part about that is just the name recognition alone.
Yeah.
Like, are people going to know that that's part of this
Universe
franchise? You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's so hard to talk about
I know.
all of
I'm
this
sorry.
because of.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
know. Anyway,
I'm really sorry. I'm terrible.
I think you're right. You know, it's like I mean, I barely know most people that I know that.
I don't know a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of us who grew up with comics didn't read. For whatever reason, Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is not even that incarnation. This is like some newer version of it that we know nothing about.
But what's
how many episodes? How many issues, Gino? Do you know? About
this for the new one? I'm not sure. I'm talking about like just they rebooted it probably in the you know, this decade or this past decade.
But Michael Rooker's character is not even in. Is it?
He's an old one. I remember he's in the old one because I remember seeing like it's kind of like that 80s, the way the X-Men looked in the 80s. He kind of had that same kind of look to him.
Well, he has like a sweet ass mohawk. He's a blue guy with a sweet ass mohawk and a bow and arrow.
What about it?
Yeah.
You got every movie has to have a guy with a bow and arrow in it. Now,
And a blue mohawk, or give or take.
I think it's a red mohawk. He's blue.
Yeah, he's blue.
Red mohawk. So
red mohawk. Does he have a cape? Because in the comics, he used to have capes.
No, he's got what? How do you explain it?
Okay,
epaulets?
No, if you think of like,
I'm gonna look it up.
Scorpion's original costume.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
like how he has those like shoulder pads.
Yes. Very 80s, 90s.
Yeah. It's like a wider shoulder. It's like a V-neck with like a wide shoulder.
I actually collected those.
Really?
A few of them. Like I have like Guardians of the Galaxy one with him in it.
It's
and some guy some stocky guy with a flat head. I don't know who that is.
Was it?
It had like Vance Astro in it.
But it's exciting. But what's cool too, I think, or what they're trying to do with Guardians, at least because like Iron Man, and people have gone back to this a lot. This is not my thought, but Iron Man as like a character he is popular, but he wasn't like, he didn't have the same name recognition as like Spider-Man or the X-Men.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know? And then now, because of the way that they've built up his character, he's one of the most popular characters in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And so I think they're trying to do that same thing, but this time with like a superhero team with Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that's actually a really interesting way to go about it, especially since some of their more powerhouse franchises are, optioned off to other studios.
I think that's why they.
That's the reason.
That's what they said, right?
They can't bring in the Fantastic Four.
Right.
They can't bring in. Well, they just got back Daredevil.
Yeah.
And
Netflix, by the way.
Netflix. That's crazy.
They're doing 4 Netflix shows.
They're doing 4 Netflix shows based off of who? It's here, Iron Fist.
Iron Fist and Luke Cage. And Luke Cage. I think that's going to be Heroes for Hire.
Okay.
It should be, because I don't. Why put both of them on separate?
I thought it was 4 separate, and then the 5th one was the 4 of them together.
Oh, never heard about that. Because there are 4.
So it's Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and is it Jessica Jones?
I have no idea.
I think it is Jessica Jones.
That's the one I don't really know about.
Wasn't she okay, I'm going to look it up because I'm probably wrong, but
I have no idea.
I think she was like, I remember hearing something about her from Wizard. This is how long ago. I know. For those of you who don't know, Wizard was a magazine publication back in the 90s, early 2000s that chronicled sort of the comic book community.
Yeah, it also started off as a price guide.
It was a price guide, a figure price guide, and a comic book price guide, right?
And then
it was only like
figures were
books.
Toy Fair. Toy Fair was
that's right, Toy Fair.
And I remember my favorite thing about Wizard was this is before they really had superhero action figures. People would make their own.
Oh yeah,
yes, that was my favorite section of the issue. Was
I jerked off to that every time.
Same. I was like, I wish I was this talented. And then me trying to make my own action figures. Yeah. I found out that I can't sculpt. So
and then they did have a section sometimes, really sporadically, where they'd like cast people.
Yes.
In roles for comic book movies.
Yes.
I remember they were doing the X-Men movie.
Yeah,
and
before it came out.
They cast Danzig as Wolverine. Wolverine going, "Mother."
I love it. They casted Iman as Storm, and that was always my favorite because that makes so much more sense than how.
Wait, is this before the first?
This is before the first movie.
Singer X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Oh, this was way before.
Yeah, that was way
like
before.
'89.
They did it a couple
This
times.
was before when I was in high school.
But they did it a couple times.
Before I was in high school, like middle school.
Yeah. They did it a couple times. I remember Omar and I used to buy for those of you who don't know, Omar's my best friend in the world. And we used to collect our issues of Wizard, and they did another casting where Iman was.
Huh.
But she'll always be Storm for me. And like in my head, I guess I'm just going to pretend that Iman is flying across the screen instead of Halle Berry. Not that Halle Berry looks bad, but sometimes she does.
I really wish it was Zoe Saldana.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, if we're still interested, Jessica Jones, a fictional character appearing in books published by Marvel Comics, created by writer Brian Michael Bendis and artist Michael Gaydos. She debuted an alias as an embittered former superheroine who had used the aliases Jewel Nitrous, and currently she's going around as Power Woman. And then after she hangs up her costume, she became owner and sole employee of alias Private Investigations. Elias Caricature.
Jesus.
I know. Sorry, I can't.
You and your weird pronunciation.
I know, but that's what I remember. She was introduced on the show.
Right. She's like a martial artist, right?
Wait, on the show, the Alias show with Jennifer Gardner?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I think so. Yeah, on Alias.
I don't think
Comics,
that's right.
No, it's an Alias Comics. That's why it's really confusing.
Was it? Yeah,
Go back
she
and
was...
tell me what her powers are. She's
powers. Looking.
Oh man, it's like so uninteresting. I think they're trying to grab a female audience with that.
No, but what's cool is that she sort of is like a hero for hire. That's kind of cool. They've never had something like that before.
So isn't that that's what I was getting to? Isn't the whole thing?
I guess. I guess, but she's girl. I'm about it. I want more heroines.
What are you saying, Gina?
The fifth show is the Defenders, and the Defenders is the four of them together.
Sorry, her abilities are.
Okay, this is my thing. From what I read, they only say 4 shows. And the Defenders is one of them. Daredevil, Jennifer Jones, whatever.
Jessica Jones. Were you going to say Jennifer?
Jenny Jones, the talk show host.
Yeah, Jenny Jones.
Jennifer Lopez.
It's about a talk show host. No, so and then Iron Fist and Luke Cage as heroes for hire. So that would be 4.
Interesting. Her abilities, if anyone is still wondering, are flight, superhuman strength, and physical resistance. I don't know what physical resistance means.
She's just like
no.
It's her, it sounds like she's fighting off of rape. Rape.
Absolutely.
You cannot rape her.
You can't rape her. That is I know a lot of women who would really like that power.
I'm impervious to rape.
I'm impervious to rape. She'd be like the
physical
resistance. What is that? What does that mean?
All of her orifices zip up.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest mental image, and I hate it.
They all fight back.
I hate it. Also, she did have partnerships with Luke Cage. So maybe that's probably why, so they can cross over.
I do crossovers?
Yeah.
But that's another weird thing is she is way more obscure than the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Fair. That's
Jesus. Fair. Okay, I'm glad that she can fly and all that stuff, because I was going to bring this up, because I thought she was just a martial artist. Do you guys find, Marvel, their a lot of their superheroes that they're bringing to the big screen are just, I don't want to say not that super. They just don't really have powers a lot.
Fair.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like everyone on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, but S.H.I.E.L.D. is like
Captain
about, like,
America's kind of a superhero, but I mean, still not like flying around shooting stuff.
well, but S.H.I.E.L.D. is supposed to be like the other end of like
No,
all
I'm just
the carnage,
saying,
right?
like, but there's like, and then you've got Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
You only have.
well, and like Iron Man built his powers. Not that that's not terrible.
So Iron Man is more there.
Yeah.
But then you've got Thor, Iron Man and Thor. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are the two.
And Hulk.
You could say. Hulk's not even getting a movie.
Fair.
They said they were going to make a Thor 3 before they make a Hulk movie.
Why?
I don't know.
So wait, are you saying they're not super powered? So the Guardians of the Galaxy are coming out of nowhere, dealing with like space?
No, I'm just saying that's just, for me, it's kind of, it seems like so many of them don't have powers. It's kind of frustrating to me.
It's like it's not like they're like gods among men. It's more like relatable.
Yeah.
But is
I heard
DC pull some shit out.
I heard something a long time ago. Stan Lee always talks about it whenever you see him interviewed. It's all the Marvel heroes are based, like, all their flight comes from something.
Yeah.
Kind of like Thor flies with his hammer. Iron Man flies. Like, there's a not science. There's some kind of basis.
Like an explanation.
To their powers. Yeah, there's an explanation to it. Not just like, Superman's an alien so he can fly. Even though they've retconned that into, why he flies because of...
I mean, like,
Storm does fly because she uses the wind.
Yeah, she manipulates air currents.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that Superman gets his flying ability after he's powered by the yellow sun of the Earth, but that doesn't really explain why he can fly.
No. And then like Banshee flies with his
the sonic screams.
But then again, you get to like Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Who just flies.
I mean,
Yeah.
But I definitely see what you're saying. Like I never really thought about it that way.
but that, like, weren't the Marvel characters, like, created almost as a response to that idea? It's like they were...
Well, they're definitely after. They're newer. DC has the oldest, heroes.
When they were still Action Comics.
Yeah.
And... But they grounded more... Like, when they created X-Men, I remember someone talking about this a while ago, but they needed... It was... Because... It was after Stan Lee had created Spider-Man, and he wanted to create a superpowered team, but then he was like, how do I explain their powers? Because everyone can't just be bitten by a radioactive spider, And that's what's nice about the thought behind the Marvel things, is that there's a reason that their powers manifest. I mean, if you look at DC, Kal-El is an alien that comes to Earth and is powered by the yellow sun, but it doesn't explain why all these powers happen.
It doesn't explain why Wonder Woman flies.
It also doesn't explain why she wears an American flag and she's strapped with a mascara. But, I mean...
She's not wearing an American flag now.
She used to. Her original costume was made out of an American flag and Steve Trevor's plane. I don't know why.
That makes sense. Because she met Steve Trevor and she's like, check that out. I like that. What is that? I like that pattern.
Yeah,
put this
I like this. I'm just gonna desecrate this American flag and make an outfit.
It's like, oh my god.
Oh, this is so cute, you guys. Oh my god, this is terrible. This is terrible.
No, but she didn't originally
she can't have a movie.
She didn't.
No, she did not originally fly.
Yeah,
I don't even know when that was
up
came
until
in.
Really recently. Wasn't it until I was talking to Mark Baez about this actually on Facebook, and he was saying like it's not until the animated series that she really started flying.
Really?
I thought she started flying like back before they did.
Plane.
Yeah, she had an invisible.
She did have the invisible plane for a long time.
That's going to be hard to sell in a movie.
I know, but maybe they'll just sort of gloss over that and give her more of like her attributes are descended from the gods, which would make more sense for her. I don't know. I really want a Wonder Woman movie, but I'm afraid that they'll make it problematic, and I just really want a Wonder Woman movie.
Oh.
Well, Jape and I were talking about this last week, that Sif in the Thor movie.
Yes.
So I remember in the first movie, she needs more screen time, by the way, but she is how DC can do Wonder Woman.
But did you hear the rumors that she was talking to DC? And is that
she
why everyone got really excited like I did?
And I just wish she, I told Jape, I wish they found her first because she looks like, she looks great.
I had the same exact thought. She would be absolutely
She'd
perfect.
be perfect. I mean, there's been a lot of, fan photo manipulations where they put her in Wonder Woman costumes, and it's just too perfect. It's just... And I feel like I feel like if DC decided, and JP said this before, but like if DC decided to go like the Thor route with a Wonder Woman movie, it makes so much more sense
That's
than
the
like
way you go.
because the big excuse that they have for a Wonder Woman movie is that her origin story is problematic. Thor is kind of problematic his sort of mythology is complicated, but they were able to do it. So there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to bring Wonder Woman in like meaningful and like really, really, appealing way to people.
I mean,
there's just no reason.
No one is going to fault DC for copying what
I was going to say, isn't it the same thing
Marvel
now?
does.
Like, isn't Wonder Woman's origin based on mythology?
Yeah, kind of. Well, she was. I remember this specifically when I was a kid because I had those audio comic books.
Yeah, I think I
It was
stole
like
that from
cassette
you.
tapes. Yeah,
The Wonder Woman one. I
if
think
you can find them.
I think I'll try to find them.
So she was made of clay.
Yeah,
Her mom
made her.
Oh,
made her out of clay, and then
like Pygmalion, and then the goddesses. The gods blessed her and made her like a person. But like originally, like in the 40s, if they had to go all the way back to her 40s origin story, which doesn't give her as much empowerment, it's problematic. But I don't understand.
They're not going to do that.
I don't understand why, because that's going more. And this is getting nerdy and technical, but that's what this podcast is all about. But it's if they did a 1940s sort of thing where they tried to follow it more like Captain America, that would be more problematic than if they wanted to do it more like Thor. Because Thor, you could set it in the present day and you could explain her powers, and it wouldn't be that confusing. But if they wanted to go back to the origins and like when she was back in the 40s being tied up and being weird, that would be so weird. And
I'll tell you this: everything that's going to come out is going to be kind of like, if it's going to be Wonder Woman, it's going to be New 52 type Wonder Woman.
Which I don't have a problem with because I heard it's amazing. Yeah. So we'll figure that out.
But
what were we talking about?
Oh yeah. So I was going to say, Ian said his.
What was this?
Because I told you guys to look this up. But Ian said his boyfriend is in Thor, and I was like, Stellan Skarsgård, and I was going to say, is that because of that Nymphomaniac movie poster?
Oh god damn it! I hate you so much right now.
This movie poster does not make me want to see this movie in any way. It's so disgusting.
It is. It's really disturbing.
Like everyone's doing their sex faces, and Stellan Skarsgård, we can almost see his dick.
Yeah, it's
and he's
so
doing
close.
his like he's ramming someone from behind.
But like his face,
it's disgusting.
Is like,
what's his name? Shia LaBeouf has got a cigarette in his mouth while he's like.
What's his name? Is like really Christian Slater's like in really good shape.
Yeah,
he looks awesome.
Question, and this is just
Jamie Bell. Absolutely, is that Jamie Bell?
Where?
Yeah, right there next to Christian Slater.
Oh yeah,
he looks like he's really doing it.
But that's what this whole like. Have you seen the trailer for it?
No.
Too?
I have not heard of this, so.
I don't want to see the trailer.
What am I looking at here?
What is
this fucking guy?
This movie, they released like a teaser trailer for it, and it was basically like an extended sex scene with Shia LaBeouf and someone else in one of these posters. But it's like, apparently what they did was they took the top halves of the actors and they CG'd like other actors who are actually having sex. So you see sort of everything going on, but they're trying to splice it together so that actors don't have to have sex, but they basically have sex stunt doubles that they're like CGing on top of.
It's the stunt cock.
Stunt cock, yeah.
From what is it? Orgasmo.
Yes.
And they have the stunt cock come in.
It's completely that. No, and it's such a.
Wait, the whole movie's like this?
Yeah.
That's dumb as shit.
I mean, I'm sure there's like a story somewhere.
Either commit to banging on screen, or don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what's really funny is, well, with the exception for everyone being white.
Who's this?
Oh, that is Charlotte Gainsborough.
How'd you get on that? I don't know.
Huh? It's Charlotte.
Why is Sasha Grey not involved in this? This is 2 podcasts in a row that we talk about Sasha Grey.
I know. We should just call the podcast Sasha Grey. Anyway, it's weird seeing all these posters put together because it just sort of shows that the cast isn't super diverse, and also is not.
How do you get a more diverse? Oh, you mean like they're all white?
Everyone's white, but then the men are really diverse because everyone comes in like all body shapes and all ages, but then all the women are just sort of like in that 20s to maybe early 40s range, and they all are like fit No one's like overweight. No one's like old. There's no Kathy Bates doing an O face. So
There might as well be. There's that one old guy. What's his name?
yeah, but you're saying
He's like
old
the
guy,
first-
not
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
older lady.
He should be
Who is
him
that guy?
banging Kathy Bates from behind.
Who is amazing in American Horror Story, by the way. So if you're listening to this, Kathy Bates, you're incredible.
Yeah, Gina, you need to get on that American Horror Story. Remember last
right.
time I was talking about how I didn't want to watch it because it's about
Yeah.
witches?
Yeah.
And
I
now
don't
you
like
want to
witches.
watch it because it's about witches. It's so
Dude,
good.
It's so good.
So freaking good.
It's unbelievably good.
It's so good.
Okay.
Every episode. So would you call it a cold open? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like every
cold
cold
open.
open is a different sequence, and you have no idea where or when it's going to be.
Yeah.
Based. It's going to be like set. It's all basically its own vignette.
But it also
each,
is like
each segment before the credits is always like that, and it's a whole completely different story. Just not completely different story. It ties into the story of them.
It like informs the universe that these witches are living in.
I guess they kind of did that in the first season.
I was gonna say the second season was kind of like that.
I
But,
haven't
that's
seen
the
either
thing.
the first or the second season.
I'm just
so I feel
very
terrible.
impressed on the way that they do it on this.
So
all right, I can definitely watch this if Ian watches Thor.
okay. Well, I mean, you don't have to twist my arm to watch Thor. I'm gonna go see it. I have to support my boyfriend, but
You have, his boyfriend Stellan Skarsgård.
my boyfriend, Chris Hemsworth.
There's a lot of blurred out Stellan
Yeah,
in
Ian,
this
you're
movie.
just gonna pull it out and start yanking in the
Just
movie theater
completely.
because he is quite naked in that movie.
Stellan Skarsgård?
I didn't. It's not.
This is really wrong.
spoiler alert.
There's more
I'm not giving away.
naked Stellan Skarsgård than there is shirtless Hemsworth.
I hate
Yes.
everything you're saying
That
right now.
is true. Good observation.
I hate it.
I did like.
I don't want to see it anymore.
I made a comment during the movie when Thor. There's a second section when Thor has no sleeves,
Uh-huh.
and just like in the Avengers movie when Thor has no sleeves, I like Thor with no sleeves because
Yeah.
it's more
Accurate.
accurate and it's more badass.
Fair.
I'm fighting all these demons, or I'm fighting
I don't
all
even
these.
need a shirt.
I don't need those armored sleeves. Fuck
Fair.
your armored sleeves.
Fuck your couch,
Look at
bitch.
these.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold.
I like it.
It's
I'm about it. Fuck your couch.
these guns need to breathe.
All right. I'm
okay.
about it. But yeah, you don't have to twist my arm to see Thor. But now that you say there's more naked Stellan Skarsgård, wait, is he Alexander and Alexander Skarsgård dad? Am I
Yes,
stupid?
that is
Yeah.
his dad.
Okay, I'm like, am I stupid?
Who
Did I
was
never put this
originally
together?
supposed to play Thor.
Oh my god.
I don't think he could have bulked up.
No, probably not. But he's like, it's fine. Like I'm
Wait,
totally
who
fine.
was originally supposed to play Thor?
Alexander Skarsgård. From True Blood.
Really?
Eric from True Blood,
He
yeah.
probably
Yeah, yeah.
He's originally supposed to do it, and then they dropped out. And then after him, they were going to go with Liam Hemsworth. Was
Stop it.
originally supposed to. He was actually cast, and then they decided to switch and go with Chris.
with the better brother. You heard me.
Yeah, the better and the bigger one.
You heard me, Shayna. If you're
I
listening
heard
to this.
Tom Hiddleston wanted to play Thor. He auditioned. They said, who directed the first movie?
Kenneth Branagh.
He said, bulk up as much as you can and we'll see what we can do.
Oh,
He came in red, all bulked up, and they ultimately gave it to Chris, and they loved him so much they gave him Loki.
I mean, which is great because
Mm-hmm.
now he has.
Oh, that might be the
ton of-
second best casting
Yeah,
after Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I agree.
Out of the
he's
whole
so
thing.
good as Loki, and you can tell he's having like such a good time.
Yeah,
Like,
Gino's
just with it.
saying how he just steals
Every scene.
Every
It's
movie.
like his movie.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna give it up. I still have to watch it.
No,
of course.
he's incredible.
No, I no disrespect to Tom Hiddleston, if he's listening, but like he.
If you're listening.
If you're listening, of course you're listening, Tom Hiddleston. Why would you not? But it's
God, I hope he listens to this.
but like it's like
Can we get Loki a tan, by the way? That guy's looking.
yeah, but he's been in space jail, so like how is he going to see
He's
sun?
looking rough. No, I guess you're right. No,
I like how you were okay with space jail.
Space Jail.
Obviously.
That's fine.
Well, what else?
Space Jail should be the name of the podcast.
I like it. Does that sound too much like Super Jail? Do you guys watch Super Jail? It's amazing.
Never heard of it.
What?
Super J.
What is it?
It's a show on
cartoon?
Cartoon Network, but it's It's for Adult Swim, and it's kind of like, when when like that one scary 12-year-old in your 5th grade class like would draw in his notebook and they'd be like all these like weird murder scenes and stuff like that. It's like that, but like animated. And it's about this jail, and the warden is kind of this Willy Wonka type character, and he's like trying to think of all these ways to like make his jail better and like how to like, you know, like you know, he wants to improve the lives of the inmates, but then he also wants to like torture them in the most fanciful ways possible. And so you can see why I kind of like this show. It's like really dark and really hysterical.
Have to see it.
You have to watch it.
I don't know.
So good. Both of you, just watch it.
Oh, speaking of really quick, do you watch Eastbound and Down? Do you know?
I haven't seen it since maybe I started this season 3, so I haven't seen it in a while.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I heard these last 2 have been great. Last 2 seasons.
They had the series finale last week or this week. It was unbelievable. And okay. All right, maybe I won't give you the spoiler alert. It's not really. It's just a cameo. If you don't mind me spoiling a cameo.
I don't mind cameo spoils.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you care, Gina?
No, that's fine.
All right, so spoiler alert. They kind of go into like a sequence like in the future.
Yeah.
And Kenny Powers has 2 kids now. He's got a son and a daughter. And I didn't realize who the son was until way later on. The son is played by Alexander Skarsgård, who played this really dorky kid.
Amazing.
And I was like, who's this weird gangly kid running around? And then the daughter, Kenny Powers' daughter, is played by Lindsay Lohan.
No.
Yes.
What?
Wow.
It's hilarious. No lines. Neither of them have... Oh, I think Skarsgård has 1 line. Lindsay Lohan, no lines.
Oh my gosh. That's why someone mentioned like a Lindsay Lohan no cameo thing, or cameo with no lines thing. That's actually really funny.
I like Mini Project has random cameos. Like Kevin Smith was on there for no reason one day.
I love that show. I love that show.
You watch it?
Oh, it's so much better than New Girl now. I don't know what happened to New Girl.
100% agree.
It just completely. We just watch it now to wait, for Mindy to come on.
Yeah, I stopped recording New Girl.
That's awesome. I really want her to do well.
The problem with New Girl now, right, is that they made every character really dumb. Especially Nick. Nick is like really dumb now, and the show is just really falling off. I don't know if they changed the writers or what, but it just doesn't have the same feel.
I think they just didn't know what to do after they put Nick and Jess together.
Because that is, that's what ruined it for me. Was when they got
putting them together.
That ruined it for me. I was like, oh, it's so typical, and it's so corny.
But the tension's gone, because that was like a will they, won't they kind of thing, and then they decided to just put them together.
I think that was so corny.
It's just not even as... The writing's not as good.
It's not funny.
Season 1 was great.
Season 1 was incredible. And then they just go into season... And it's just like...
It didn't mesh
plummeted
well.
Big time. So if you like Mini Project, Gino, I really think you're going to like Trophy Wife. It's hilarious, man. Little kids are so funny. Someone with Malin Ackerman.
Okay.
Just listening to our conversation for like the past, 50 minutes, I think that we should... just title the podcast "Do You Watch?" Because that's like the most asked question on the podcast. No shade. It's just like it's completely that. Oh, do you watch or did you watch or did you read? Yeah, did you see? I like did you see?
I like did you see?
I don't know, listeners. Go ahead and vote. Text us.
Call in.
Text us. Tweet us.
Text us one. Text one.
Text one. I hate it.
What do you think about did you see?
I like did you see?
Because that would say, like, did you see...
Yeah, did you see...
How do you say it in Tagalog?
Nakita mo.
Nakita mo. That's not working.
No, I like did you see? Because, like, that's usually the first thing that we say to each other. Did you see?
Yeah, that's true. Did you see? I like that.
Okay.
Oh, here's one thing that I wanted to bring up. So there's a rumor or possibility that they're talking to Joseph Gordon-Levitt about starring as Sandman in a Sandman movie. Not Marvel Sandman, but Vertigo DC Sandman. Mm-hmm. No, my question is is it a requirement for every comic book movie that you have to at least consider Joseph Gordon-Levitt to star in the fucking movie?
I'm just kidding. Maybe
he can't
lately.
Play everyone.
He can't. But, like, and if you're going to deploy him as, like, a superhero, you'd have to be, like, kind of careful, because then once you have him committed to something, you can't use him for anything anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, Sandman would make a certain amount of sense, wouldn't it?
Why?
Or is he too like, goofy for it?
Wait, did you guys read Sandman? I don't think I...
I have one
I know of it.
Yeah, I know of it
I've read
too,
like a synopsis of like the first one, but I need to read it.
You know, it's one of those things. It's one of those.
I can get you those too if you really want to.
Amazing.
And by that you mean you can buy them for us.
Yeah, I buy
mail
them
to you.
And then mail us.
Okay.
I buy them retail, and then I scan them all into my computer.
La 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 la.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I read one. It's one of those titles that you have to be like, to other comic book nerds, you have to be like, oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah. It's so great.
Awesome.
It's so great. And then it's like, I have no idea.
I don't
Now,
think he does that much.
They're actually making a Sandman movie,
That's what they're saying.
They're talking about it.
and is that who owns that movie? Is this like not a Marvel thing or not a?
DC.
No, it's DC.
Vertigo
It's
DC.
Which is like
So I don't even know if they have Vertigo still. Do they?
they do because they just started doing more Sandman comic books.
Oh.
You're right.
What's his face? Neil Gaiman. He just started writing more, and the next issue is not the first issue of like this new series for Sandman just came out, and it's gotten like rave reviews. And then the next issue they've pushed back into like February, which is interesting. And I don't know why they do that. Sometimes I don't know why DC makes the choices that they make.
Huh.
I really don't. It's just baffling at times. Like besides like the whole Wonder Woman thing, because we know she's like one of my favorites, so it's kind of hard for me that she still doesn't have a movie. But like the whole, I don't know if you guys are aware or if you've seen this, but on Cartoon Network they have this whole animated block on Saturday mornings, and it was supposed to be called DC Nation. And on DC Nation they had like really great cartoons based on shows. Like they had Young Justice, which was like a Young Justice League. It was really. Did you?
I heard that was. I heard that was really good.
Is it?
It was good.
I don't. No, I'm not going to watch it.
Are they kids or
No, they're
are
not
they?
kids. It's not them. It's like Superboy, and it's like
So it's Teen Titans.
no, because it's not that Robin. Oh, Robin was there, but it wasn't.
Teen Titans.
Okay, maybe it was Teen Titans, but Starfire wasn't there.
Was Cyborg in it?
Yeah.
He was in Teen Titans as well.
So I
You're
guess.
still not convincing me that.
But it's so good because like the story itself isn't like, you know, the new Teen Titans show is kind of crap. The Teen Titans Go is like terrible, and I love like cutesy anime things, and I can't deal with it.
I don't really.
So Young Justice is not like
Young Justice is not like that.
little
at all.
kid animated.
In my, because I didn't watch it all the way through, but I watched like a block of it for like a couple weeks, and in some respects, it reminds me a lot of the Bruce Timm Batman the Animated Series.
Oh.
But not in that style. But the writing wasn't afraid to just sort of be more mature. Like they didn't, they weren't afraid of that. But then
I don't really like that many animated series. I know it
Fair.
sounds
You didn't like the Bruce Timm Batman?
What is that?
the Batman the Animated
The Batman
series.
animated series.
The one that was
The
on
old
in the,
one?
yeah, the one that
The
was
old
on in
yeah,
the
I
the
like
90s.
that.
yeah.
That was
But
I
like,
like that, but I don't know. I don't like the. It
Well,
sounds
but
like it's
you-
like the cutesy anime stuff.
but it's not. Young Justice isn't like that at all. It's like the opposite of cutesy anime stuff. But anyway, getting back to DC. So like,
I don't really give a shit about Robin. So
fair.
No,
and
but
it
Jake,
just-
you watched the Marvel Avengers, the one that you and I always talked about.
oh man, Avengers
Earth's Mightiest Hero.
Have you-
Earth's Mightiest
have you
Hero.
I haven't watched that
It's
yet.
incredible.
But getting back to DC, like sometimes because I think they sort of burned a bridge with like Cartoon Network or something, and so they're trying to like bury all these shows that were actually really good. And then, you know, with their movie release schedule, I feel like something is kind of just off in the DC water. Like it's just, you know.
Well, this is the thing. They're working on. Okay, so did you see that they registered a bunch of domain names?
Yes.
for the
Night-
Superman?
Nightwing just happened the other day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's really weird names in there.
Battle of the
Like,
Night
really
with a K.
bulky and pun.
Hold on, I
ones.
have a list.
Okay, so but you know that they have that list of like 3 girls that are supposed to be reading for what the description of the part is basically Wonder Woman. It's like an exotic looking, strong brunette.
Is
Oh,
it,
yeah.
or are they just trying to find a love interest? Because I was really worried because it
What
could
love
either be
interest?
Wonder
For
Woman
who?
for
For Superman?
it could be Lana. They could be trying to cast Lana.
Why would they have Lois Lane?
I know, but like you know, they could try to shoe in another like
don't
thing.
know.
There's a lot in this movie already, like that they'd have to.
Wait,
deal
is
with.
this is for the Batman Superman or this
Yeah,
is
this
just
is for the Batman Superman. And one of the people, I don't really know about the. Oh wait, hold on. I can't remember who the other one is, but the one that sticks out the most to me is is it Emilia Clarke or Emily Clarke?
Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is one of the people they're considering.
But then why would
she's pretty short.
She is really short.
She looks really small.
I mean, why would you just not?
But we have seen her naked, so I'm very interested. Like every time she's on screen, I'm like, I know what you look like.
I know what your nipples look like.
I know what everything looks like.
Really, everything? I thought it was just nipples. Okay, so
I think they show her Jean.
Her dragon.
Yeah.
I almost spit out on my fucking phone. Oh my god.
Okay, so here are some of the possible titles for the Batman Superman.
New podcast title, Show Me Your Dragon.
Show me your dragon!
Wait, what we should do also with these new titles, what we should have done is, we should have made up some fake ones and see if you could decide which ones are real and fake.
We should have done that.
Read them off.
Okay, so here are possible titles that people or the internet thinks that WB, Warner Brothers might go with for the Batman vs. Superman movie based on domain names that they've bought. So there's Man of Steel, Battle of the Night, and that's Night with a K.
All of these are Night with a K.
Yeah, all these are Night with a K. Man of Steel, Beyond Darkness, Man of Steel, Black of Night. Black of Night?
I don't know.
Man of Steel, Darkness Falls. Man of Steel, Night Falls, again with a K. Man of Steel, Shadow of the Night, but that one was with an N.
That's with an N. That makes no sense.
That doesn't make any... Because it doesn't go with...
Why is that the one? I don't know.
Shadow of the Night with a K would make more sense.
I don't know. And then,
anyway, Man of Steel, The Blackest Hour, kind of racist.
That sounds like they're just straight up, like, the Blackest Day. Blackest Night.
Yeah, Blackest Night from
Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Man of Steel, The Darkness Within. Shorter variations of the names were also registered. Battle of the Night with a K, Battle of Night, Night Falls, and The Blackest Hour. So, yeah.
Ugh. What is that? It's all of that is so bulky.
It's a little clunky.
It's so.
But like they do squat on a lot of domain names, like just in case they want to use them. So in the end, maybe they just will go with Batman vs Superman.
I heard that for the Wonder Woman movie, they're going to go with Amazon.com.
Oh. I hope that one's not taken because that would suck.
They're going to pay out a lot of money.
They will. They will. They'll have to.
Oh yeah. Oh, Gina, did you see?
Why was that so funny?
I don't know.
That was really good.
Did you see? Did you see Dana White's random cameo on Mini Project?
I did.
He just walks by, and Ike Barinholtzer's like,
"Hey, that's Dana White."
He goes, "Hey, they're at an MMA fight." Dana White walks by, and he goes, "Hey, I loved you in Deal or No Deal. Like, I love that." Dana White's like, "I'm not Howie Mandel." I guess that's an ongoing joke. Because this is I saw an interview with Dana Knight. Dana Knight.
Dana Knight.
That's another Man of Steel. Dana Knight
with a K.
And he's fighting. Dana White is playing Lex Luthor.
There you go.
Shit, that would be perfect.
Wait, hold on. I need to look up Dana. Anyway, keep talking.
So Dana White, bald guy, he was doing an interview, and he said that he went to In-N-Out Burger.
Oh yeah, totally.
And he was in the drive-through of the In-N-Out Burger, and he saw people on the inside like pointing at him, like, "Oh my God, look who it is!" And then
someone said, "Oh God!"
And so someone goes, he sees someone say, "Oh my God, it's Andre Agassi."
No,
I could see that. I
shit you not. They thought I was Andre Agassi.
Is that a burn or is it?
Because I guess all his bald guys look alike.
That is kind of baldest.
But yeah.
That's so actually funny. Really funny. Anyway, you wanted to get into...
Oh, yeah. Well, you know one thing, we were watching the GSP fight last week.
Yeah.
And Ian was watching it, and I saw Ian across the table. He was explaining to someone that he knows this very technical rule that you can't do a 12-6 elbow. And I see him demonstrating. He's like, "You can't do this."
Oh, my gosh. How proud were you of Ian
I was.
That moment?
Right, Gina?
Oh, my gosh.
See, I'm not trying to crush pride or anything. I did learn that. Not myself. I had to explain to me. But because in the beginning, I was like, what are the things that you can't do? Because I wanted to make sure that I knew.
He knows the 12-6 elbow.
Oh my
but it surprises me that you can't. Well, it doesn't surprise me that you can't, because that's like a really sharp part of your body. So you could rupture things inside, right? Like in a person.
This is the way that rule came about.
Okay.
Is a person in the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they went to one of those like demonstrations where people break stuff, like they're breaking ice, and they saw a guy break a block of ice doing that, like a 12-6 elbow, and they were like, "Oh, this is really dangerous." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
But
like, don't they punch blocks of ice and break them?
Yeah, wait
they
a minute.
chop at ice too, like Karate Kid style. They still do that, right?
Yeah,
Going through life
I don't
like a
know.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, I've never seen a guy in the UFC fight karate chops.
I did ask. Can you judo chop people? Like
You can try,
and then get your ass kicked.
and then it'll be like, "What the?" They'll just look at
They'll
you.
just punch you in the face.
And you're like, "What the? Did you just chop me?
And now I just want to see it happen really bad.
Did you just say judo chop out loud?"
Judo chop. Judo chop. Every time I do go and watch a fight with JP though, I do always yell out, "I just need someone to like throw out a fireball." I just really want it to happen. One of these days it's going to happen and I'm going to be so happy.
But
it's going to be completely illegal because they had like lighter fluid like Job.
right.
Like
No, but seeing Ian across a crowded bar demonstrating and saying, you're not allowed to do this. And I would. That's the proudest I've ever been.
That's really sweet.
I was like, "Oh my god!" And I turned to like Tyler. I was like, "Oh my god!" Please.
And he knows.
He's demonstrating.
Like a proud father.
One of these days, I'm gonna explain football to my dad, and he's gonna like just die. He's just gonna be like the happiest motherfucker ever.
You could show your dad that old John Bones Jones fight when he got disqualified for that 12-6 elbow. And
like,
pretend like it's new.
Yeah.
And say, "Oh my god, I can't believe he just did that. You're not allowed to do that."
I've always wanted to just punk my dad really bad doing something, so that might be it.
So Gino, real quick, how was what did you do tonight?
I watched second Hunger Games.
Yes.
Brienne.
Yes.
Haven't seen it.
It's about 1,000% better than the first one.
If it can be 1,000,000% better than the first one, I'm gonna go with it's 1,000,000% better.
It's pretty great. In a movie, like I was not into the first. I read the first book. I didn't read the second book.
Oh, you haven't read the second book?
No, I haven't read the second book.
Okay.
The first movie was really disappointing after reading the book. It just looked really cheap.
It did. I think we can all say that now because the second movie was so much better. But anyway,
But the concept of the Hunger Games itself is really interesting. And this second movie, just as a movie alone, without knowing anything about the rest of the Hunger Games, it's a standalone. The movie's really great.
So great.
Do you have
Story's
to see the first
great.
one to see this one? I've seen the first one. I'm just saying.
You
just have to know kind of why they are there.
Things are the way they are, what the narrative is from the first one. You wouldn't necessarily have to sit through the movie. I guess you could read the first book, and then watch the second movie, but you'd need to know what the narrative is. Not all the details, but you need to know why Katniss is here at this moment and why she's doing all that stuff. Jennifer Lawrence is one of my favorite things in this movie, which is... It's just refreshing because she could totally rest on her laurels because she just she's already signed for all of the movies and she could just phone this performance in, but she does a really good job.
She's really great. She's really great.
I feel as if she does like everyone though. Like I feel like the director Francis Lawrence, for anyone who is curious, he does such a good job letting each of the cast members like just have a moment. And, everyone sort of carries the weight equally, and maybe that was, thematic or whatever.
Is he the same guy that did the first one?
No, the guy who did the one who did the first one, I'm going to have to look this up. I think I blocked it out.
Was this one, I mean, you could just tell from the trailer. The trailers look like it was a lot more expensive.
Yes.
I looked it up after we watched the movie, I said, because I turned to Brienne. We watched the first one last night as in, preparation to watch the second one.
Nice.
And, I turned to her after the movie and I said, "What did you think?" I said, "Doesn't it look so much better?" And she goes, "Yes, I know what you're saying now." She wasn't quite getting what I was saying. It looked cheap. And then I looked up the budget. It's almost $90 million more they spent on it.
Okay. I mean, once you make
it was 80. It went from 80 million or 79 million, and they're about 140 to 150.
80 million. That's a lot of money. But that's it that they spent on the first one.
Really good. This movie looks really good for just having. I'm surprised it was 80 million. It looks.
No, the first movie was 80 million.
Oh, the first movie.
Okay.
I'm just saying that doesn't seem like much because
gotcha.
There was so much hype behind it.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking too. I was like, why is this cheap? This is like a huge thing. I knew what the Hunger Games were before reading the book. I was like, it's something.
Right.
So why does this movie look really cheap? The second one totally makes up for it, and the story is great.
Oh my gosh. And
just like with any trilogy cliffhanger, it's great. You know what I mean? It just sets it up perfectly.
Yes.
Do they have post-credit sequences?
No, we waited.
Oh, did you? I didn't think. I was like, I thought the only ones that did that were Marvel. Now.
You know, I did make a huge mistake in Thor.
I can't believe you didn't.
Because I know.
Yeah, you can't talk about
so
it.
sad.
Oh,
No.
Because
there's two of them.
We walked out before
the
the second credit sequence because I was so insanely crazy about the first one
that you just had to call someone.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't miss much. The first one's you watched the better one.
Yeah, and then we had to because we were gonna go watch another movie afterwards too.
Yes.
So I was just so focused on the first one, and then Giorgio said the second one is not very.
No, it's not. It's nothing.
Gotcha. It's just kind of like a shawarma thing, which was great, but it was like it wasn't integral to the.
Yeah.
But we went after that. We went and watched Escape Plan.
You watched Escape Plan?
What's
like
Escape
willingly?
Plan?
The movie. It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. It was not bad, by the way. It was pretty good. It was entertaining. It's what you want it to be.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
I wish they had made this movie a long time ago when Schwarzenegger was gigantic.
Yeah.
And it would have been really cool.
But then...
Why were they not teaming up before?
I think because they were like...
Egos?
They were rivals. Weren't they kind of rivals?
Yeah, because they were doing like sort of...
Were they?
They were doing like projects that I bet they were both coming up for. You know?
Way. No way.
You don't think?
I don't know. I don't think so. And also, how much rivals were they, Gino? They owned a restaurant chain together.
What was it called?
What, Planet Hollywood?
Oh, I'm stupid.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah.
They own Planet Hollywood
and Bruce Willis. The three of them would always go to each one and take pictures with each other.
Awesome. Hey, buddy.
I think Demi Moore was one of the partial owners to it, too. I think. I don't know. I seem to remember that.
I'm sorry about it.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're just talking out of our ass that they were rivals. We have no idea.
Yeah, we have no idea. If anyone wants to call in and tell us that they were, so we can like get our facts straight, please do.
I have firsthand knowledge of the fact that they were best of friends.
They were besties for Esties.
Yeah. It was an entire it was mainly the Hollywood machine was keeping them apart.
Okay. It's like this epic like friendship. Like I want to see that movie.
But they couldn't get away. They couldn't. Their managers and the talking heads. I don't know. I just used that word.
I would love it.
And they just wouldn't let them be.
I would watch that movie.
It was like Brokeback Mountain.
It was, but with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, and not as much scary sex.
I don't know how to quit you.
I don't know how to quit you. Or Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, real quick. Real quick. I've got a. Do you have any questions? Any of the questions that you're going to ask us?
Ooh, I did have a question.
I'm going to try one out.
Okay. You do yours because I can say mine.
Okay, go.
Okay, go.
What is a weird fear that you have? Like a strange fear, not like a fear like a fear of being buried alive, but like something weird.
Okay.
You know, like a little.
Oh, like people who are like afraid of little holes. That's like a thing.
What?
Like people are like afraid of. No, not like that. Show me your dragon.
It's so tight. It's so tight.
Not like that. It's like
tiny dragon.
Like like people. Tiny dragon. People are afraid of like pores and stuff because of like the idea of
what
pores.
What is something that you're weirdly afraid? Let me give you an example.
Okay.
I'm afraid of like getting like, especially when people have pieces of paper that they're holding up. That happens a lot. You're in the office.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of getting a paper cut in my eye, and I can't
specifically in your eye.
When I think about it, or like I see someone with a piece of paper up in the air, I have to like. It really freaks me out.
Really?
I feel like I'm getting cut, and I can't stop.
Interesting.
Picturing getting a paper cut in my eye.
Okay,
so if we held you down and threatened you with paper over your eye, you would freak
Do
the fuck
whatever
out.
you want.
Take whatever. Take everything.
Do whatever
Take
you
my
want.
wife.
Do whatever you want. I'd start jerking you guys off right away.
I really need to hold you down to do that. Yeah. I think it's pretty established. What? I don't know, Gina. You go first because
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I'm anything weird.
I don't know if this one's weird. Maybe it is. After I say it out loud, you're just gonna both laugh really hard. I have like this weird fear about like actual alien abduction.
Like you're really scared?
Like, okay, here's the thing. So it's just so like this idea if there are super intelligent beings out there, I think they'd have better things to do than like come here and like mutilate cows and like, you know, abduct people. But there's always that what if. And so like, I mean, like when you see what we do with our exploration, our space exploration, we're just like, you know, going to planets and like sending down probes and looking at stuff.
And we would take, if we saw a space cow.
Obviously, we would take a space cow.
We would take a space cow.
We would take a space cow. We'd take a space person.
Yeah.
And like
and
do
then shove
all
shit up his butt.
And, like, you know, do shit. Like, you know, and so, like, this idea that could totally happen to me.
Oh, because you really grounded this in reality.
Yeah, no.
Oh, my God.
Like, it's like this overarching sort of fear. Like, I told that to Adam when we like, first started dating. Like, I think it was, like, an offhand comment. It was like, I'm so glad you're, like, spending the night because then I won't be abducted by aliens. And then he was like, wait a minute, what? Because Adam's, like, super rational about things like this. And so he's like, wait a minute, why were you afraid of aliens? And I'm like, well, because, you know, when people get abducted, like, you never hear of, like, 2 people getting abducted, there's always 1. And so I think...
Right.
And then he just stared at me for, like, a really long time and reevaluated whether or not he wanted to do this. But, like, I have, like, this overarching fear.
Did you watch Fire in the Sky and did it flip you the fuck out?
I can't watch that. I can't watch...
I thought you were a watcher of Ancient Aliens.
I am, but I like it more as, like, if humanity has an origin story, like a comic book. Oh. I think it's a cool mythology.
And also, in Ancient Aliens, aren't they more like they're very cooperative with human beings?
Ish. Like, it depends on what aliens they're talking about. You go.
Thor 2?
Yes.
Yeah. Ancient Alien Theory.
Is Thor. All of it?
It's about, yeah.
I'm there. Like, I don't subscribe to it myself. I think it's a really cool origin story for humanity. Kind of like the Bible is a cool origin story if we look at the Bible just as literature. But I think that Ancient Aliens as a theory makes it like discounts humanity's creativity, and I think it doesn't give us enough credit. So like that's why I'm kind of like, it's a cool story, but I don't believe any of that. But I do believe that I could get abducted by aliens and be treated like a mutilated cow. Those are like... Okay, Gina, you have to say...
That sounds like a weird fetish. Treat me like a cow!
No! I think that is actually a fetish online.
Oh my God. Treat me like a cow.
That's another podcast title.
Yeah, that's another podcast. Treat me like a cow.
Well, there's that... there's the origin story that, like, you know... microbes on an asteroid.
Panspermia.
Yeah. But there is that. What was
there's that movie? What was that movie? With Gary Sinise. And they go to Mission to Mars.
Mission to Mars.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly
and the end of that movie kind of had that.
Wait. Okay, yeah, that's different than
Panspermia.
That's the one, not Red Planet. Red Planet's the one with Val Kilmer.
Yes.
And it's like came out the same month.
Yeah, they came out the same year, and everyone was like,
came out right away.
Yeah. Like, right back to back, and everyone's like, but we just watched this movie.
Yeah. I actually really like...
Mission to Mars is really good.
Yeah, Mission to Mars is good.
It had a hell
Wait,
of a
that was
cast.
the one where...
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah,
Don Cheadle.
Cheadle.
No.
Yeah, and then Tim Robbins. That was one of the most... That was a scene that I'll always remember. It's when Tim Robbins sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
And because he's like, don't come after me. And he's like telling his wife that he loves her. And then he opens his helmet.
Yes! Oh my God, yes!
He opens his helmet and he immediately freezes.
It's just like in that movie Gravity, where you just want him to like just do a little swim move and just grab that little tether.
Yes, right, absolutely.
Right.
Just like, come on, you're so close.
You're just right there.
But you know that he wouldn't have been drifting away from her. All she had to do was kind of do a little yank.
Yeah.
And then you saved the clue.
I mean, like...
Gravity, spoiler alert.
I know, right?
Gravity, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, then you're a bitch.
I know, right? What's wrong with you, first of all?
Go watch it. Because
I know. Stop listening to us and go watch it.
And then come back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Because you've already missed out on Gravity and IMAX.
Oh, my God.
You screwed yourself out of that.
I know. Your life will never be the same. What was I going to say? But Gino hasn't said his.
Yeah, give me yours.
My fear?
Yeah, his weird fear.
I don't think I have a weird fear. Like, on occasion, it's probably something really inside me that's mental. I will wake up, even to this day. I don't remember the last time it happened, where I feel like I've missed some big test.
Fair.
Like a huge project, like an exam in college or in high school or something.
Okay.
And I'll wake up in a sweat, and I'll just be like, oh, fuck, I really fucked up. And then it takes me like a second, and I'm just like, I've been out of school for, over a decade.
You're still worried about tests?
Yeah,
So
I don't know what it is. So
That's funny. I get those dreams sometimes too, where it's like, do you ever get that dream, Gino, where you find out that you were actually signed up for another class that you forgot that you signed up for, and you still have to take the final for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that dream, and it's terrifying.
Oh. I actually, my very first class in my college career, I missed that class. Because I didn't know I was signed up for it.
Oh,
so I'm like,
amazing.
I'm here in class, early, ready to go. And then I looked at my schedule, I'm like, shit, I missed a class right before this.
I remember one of my first classes when I transferred to WVU. So I had my own apartment, and it's far away from campus. You they have this little monorail type tram to go from upper campus where I was living to the lower campus where all my bio classes were. So it's like I needed 30 minutes to get there.
Wait,
get ready.
Monorail?
That's awesome.
Stuck my hand in my DOP kit, and I sliced my finger open with my razor.
In what kit?
In my shaving kit, my DOP kit.
Oh.
That sounds terrible.
I had a loose razor in there, stuck my hand in, and I was bleeding so bad.
I'm not laughing.
And it was one of those things where I'm like, I need to make it to class. What do I do? So I took a washcloth, and I wrapped my finger in toilet paper, and I grab a washcloth.
Okay.
Walk into class. I was still about, it took me a while to get the bleeding to stop. I walk into class about 15 minutes late, and I have a blood red washcloth. I walk in, everyone's fucking staring at me. Hello.
Hi, what happened?
Somebody, my sister was calling me on FaceTime on my phone.
I was like,
it kind of just put everything on pause. I was like, hello, where are you guys?
Gina, I was like, that's weird that he's in the middle of a story and then just
paused, and we're like, what happened?
What was I saying?
Yeah, bitch.
I walk in with the professor goes, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just cut my hand this morning." And he goes, "Oh, okay," because I didn't know if you needed to go to the hospital. So I sat there first day and met everyone, and I was just had this
bleeding everywhere,
huge bloody towel on my hand.
How big was the class? How many people?
You were in the same classes, those early bio classes,
the big ones,
100 people, 125 people.
They're like, hey, there's the bleeder.
Yeah, and I walked in from the, it was one of those auditoriums where you walk in from the bottom. So I walk in, and everyone's looking at me down at the bottom, and I just have this blood red towel. I will never forget that.
You know that everyone in there was thinking, I hope this motherfucker doesn't try to sit next to me.
Clearly he's gonna murder me.
It's gonna be awkward when I get up and leave.
It's gonna be really weird.
Forget that. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know what that whole fear of missing tests is. Yeah, that happens on occasion, and especially when you have fever dreams.
Yes,
that'll happen to me then.
Yeah. You guys know this. Not all the people that are listening to this might know this, but remember Gina, remember those weird fever dreams that I had? Used to have as a kid?
You had one, we went to the Philippines, and that might have been the last time I went to the Philippines. I haven't been there 19 years or so.
Yeah, that was in Hawaii.
In Hawaii, we landed.
I had diarrhea, and I couldn't go anywhere.
I don't think
Who was sick first? Were you sick first, or your sister was sick?
My sister was sick first. Coming back from the Philippines.
We land in Waikiki. We get some super kick-ass suite somehow. I think your mom got that somehow.
Cool.
Yeah, we had a suite. It was big.
Oh, no, I wasn't there.
And Christina was really sick, and Jape got sick. What, a day later, 2 days later?
Yeah.
And I felt really bad because neither of them could go out. They were just in bed all day. Boom. And Jape woke up. So we had a conjoining room. It's just like our condos in Harbor Town. He comes out. I'm sitting on the couch. What up? I'm 12 years old or so, and he comes out talking about, I think, a boulder, kind of like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it was an Indiana Jones boulder.
And he was just this boulder's chasing. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Your mom grabs you, takes you back to the room, and you're freaking out, you're being chased by a boulder. I think Batman might have been in this thing too, so you can tell how
in my life.
Yeah, that was.
And then you got to go to the hospital. I think he went to the hospital.
You had to go to the hospital?
I think so. I don't.
It's really intense.
But I did. I was hiding. They couldn't get me out of the bathroom.
I could not. I was freaked. I was kind of freaked out too because you were just like, it's coming. It's coming. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the.
That's pretty
I
incredible.
wouldn't leave. For some reason, the boulder was in there, but it couldn't get through the doorway of the bathroom. So.
But it was still like trying to attack you?
It was still trying to attack me. It was following me around.
With a knife. I'm just kidding.
With a knife. No, I would not leave the bathroom because the boulder was going to run over me.
Huh.
And then I think. Was I talking about Batman then too?
I think for some reason I think you might have said something about Batman, but what I remember now, you definitely said about the boulder.
Because it definitely happened another time.
Interesting.
Like, it was the same thing. It was a boulder.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was doing Batman then too, but it was when we lived in those duplexes.
Yeah. And you did that too?
I was real out of high fever, and it was a boulder. It was a giant Indiana Jones style boulder, and I had to get up and in front of the window. I was like spreading my arms in front of the window. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" I go, I was thinking that I was in a high rise building and this boulder was gonna smash through the building and kill a bunch of people.
Oh, so you're protecting the building.
And I thought I was Batman. And so she looks at me, she goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "Must save Gotham."
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. This isn't real. You're like making this up for me, for my benefit.
That's Ask my mom.
Amazing.
She remembers me.
I'd be like,
So that must be your thing. Your fever dream is Batman boulders.
Batman and Indiana Jones boulder.
And then mine is fucking exams I haven't studied for.
And Ian's just getting abducted by aliens.
And being treated like a cow.
Oh my god.
Interesting. Oh,
Yeah,
this is a good question, though.
It's really weird that I had that really
It's
specific.
really specific.
And it happened on multiple occasions.
Must save Gotham.
Yeah, must save Gotham.
So you were more like Val Kilmer voice then instead of like Christian Bale.
This is
Batman
before
voice.
Val Kilmer.
Oh, really?
This is when after the first.
This is right after the first, maybe the second one.
Yeah.
Second one must have came out.
It's
I don't
actually-
think the second one came out yet. I was still in the
Awesome.
duplex.
No, I think it is because that was like 92. Didn't it come out in 92?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I can-
No, 92 was.
No, you might have been right because we went to the Philippines 3 consecutive years.
Yes.
Really?
It was
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was ridiculous. And one of the times we went there for, 3 weeks or a month?
We were there for like a month.
It was a long time.
Yeah.
And were you just kind of like, when are we going home?
No.
Well, no, because we were in the Philippines for 3 weeks. And we were still
1989 was the
kids.
year.
We were kids. Remember we got on that moped and like kind of I was driving, and you were sitting behind me,
fine.
and we were in the carport. We were not even facing outwards. We were facing
yes, you were
into the
facing
carport.
No.
I turned it on and put it into gear and we're like, "Whoa, I can't stop it!"
Like a cartoon.
Kind of like slammed up against the wall, like on the
Oh.
side, and kind of onto the car. Yeah.
That was the old house. That was the old house.
That was the old
right?
house.
Wow.
Yeah, it was way before they made the new
Before
one.
they even started building the new
I
one.
remember the old house. I only went there the one time though when I was like 6.
Yeah.
And the stairs were like really narrow, right?
And there was like no stair rail, right?
Right. There was
No
no
stairwell.
stairwell. You just have to
Yeah.
go up.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to let go and let God and just like.
I just remember being
surrender.
confused about the shower situation with the tabo with like a bucket, and I was like, "You do what? I'm supposed to do
I'm
what?"
sorry. Can you explain this? Can you run this by me one more time? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how am I supposed to?
Wash myself.
Because I
So I'm going to
wash
stand in
myself
this
with
room.
both
So
my
it's like I'm
hands.
going to stand in this room completely naked and do what?
I remember.
Oh wait, hold on. Just to clarify, it's a tabo is like a scoop.
Yeah.
Like that there's a big bucket of water, and you scoop the water out and pour it over you to take a bath or
Yeah.
shower.
So
Even
you're
though
like-
it's sitting in a shower
Yeah.
stall.
Yeah, that's
There's
what
a
I
shower
was
stall.
not
There's just no shower
understanding.
head.
Like
No,
there's
there's
a
a
shower.
shower head.
There's a shower head.
Yeah.
Oh, was this like a way to save water then?
I think it was just water pressure, maybe.
Yeah, to save water, like so you're not running the whole
that-
thing. I
yeah.
guess
That makes sense.
I don't know.
I remember
It's
though.
cold as balls.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember one time though, Shayna didn't want to do it, so they like sprayed her with a hose.
Like a prison. Was this when she was in prison?
No, she was a kid, but they would like let her like run around like in the front yard. She was like in a bathing
Did they
suit or
douse
whatever.
her with talcum powder after that? They just like douse her with powder. She's clean.
I'm clean. I'm clean.
And then the sheriff chased her through the woods. hunting her down. This is after she got back from Nam.
Is this Shawshank?
No, it's Rambo. Sylvester Stallone 2 times in the podcast.
Oh my god.
Made it
Yeah, good job, Sylvester.
Twice.
Congrats.
in. Good job, Sylvester.
Good job, Sylvester. Mr. Stallone, if he prefers.
Have you seen the trailer for that new Sylvester Stallone movie with Robert De Niro coming out?
Yeah, and they're like both boxers.
Oh yeah.
That's so weird.
Was it April? Yeah, April when we saw the trailer when we were watching the UFC fight, she turned to me and was like, "Are they the characters from there? Like he's Raging Bull and then
He's Rocky.
Sylvester Stallone's Rocky."
No.
Right? But is that what this is supposed to be? Or like they can't just do it because of copyright?
I think it's a wink to that
Okay.
kind of thing.
Interesting.
I think it's like kind of a wink to it.
Because he's about to like punch some meat in the trailer, and then the trainer's like, "What are you, stupid?"
Oh
Or, like,
yeah.
It's like, we're just here buying meat. You can't just go around punching everything.
Yeah.
It's a funny joke. That's
That's actually really funny. No, but like, yeah, that's gonna be interesting as a thing. I don't know if I'll watch it.
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it when it comes out on video or Netflix.
I'll Netflix it.
I kind of want to see. This is gonna be weird. I want to see Last Vegas.
That's not kind of weird. I could see that. I would maybe watch it. I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Gino?
I with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I barely saw a trailer. It's like
It's like the geriatric Hangover. It's Hangover.
It is.
Yeah,
It's like Hangover 5.
It is like a hang.
I don't
when
know.
everyone's
I don't know. I don't really have an interest to watch that.
Fair.
I know, but I also watched Old Dogs. I don't know why I like these old ensemble movies.
Wild Hogs. That too.
Wild Hogs, I watched.
Wait, which one was Old Dog? Old Wild Hogs was with the motorcycles.
No,
right?
that's the one I'm thinking of.
With Tim Allen.
That's what I'm thinking of. Wild Hogs. I like that movie.
What's Old Dogs?
That's the John Travolta movie. It's Seth Green, I think. And John Travolta and maybe Robin Williams.
Would Grown Ups be in this category, or am I just being mean?
Grown Ups is another one.
Okay.
But another one, Space Cowboys. I like that movie.
Oh, Space Cowboys is probably the best out of those.
Those
Yeah,
sort
that
of
was a good
genre.
one.
That kind
You
of
remember that
movie.
movie?
I don't
Yeah.
remember. I remember the title, but I don't remember the what do you call it? Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Real quick, did you guys see you Ian brought up
Which one?
the Bible earlier. Did you see the trailers for Noah?
For Noah, I just saw it in the movie today.
I didn't have time to sit down and watch
What did you say, Gina?
I just saw it. It was a trailer today for the Hunger Games, so I saw the
How was it?
extended trailer. I don't know. I don't know what to think.
It's so ridiculous.
I heard that it's like one of the
It's like-
titles on one of the nerd websites that I read was like, so they just turned Noah into an action hero, or
Exactly.
like, right?
Kinda, yeah.
And does that make me more intrigued, less intrigued to see it?
Doesn't he kind of look exactly like Maximus from Gladiator?
Yeah,
Like the way he stands, the way he looks at people. I'm like, never thought of Noah as a total badass.
yeah.
And then like people are like, a horde of people are coming from the woods, trying
To get on the ark.
charging at the ark, and I'm like, what? What is this?
And it
Joaquin Phoenix
it looks
is
like
not a- no, I'm just kidding.
I know.
looks
Joaquin
like-
Phoenix is deciding whether or not he lives or dies.
Yeah.
it looks like 2012, with the arcs floating
But
in
it's
the
like
water.
the prequel to 2012.
Yeah, it's like the first.
Huh.
I don't know.
It's like 2012 meets Gladiator
Interesting.
with a little bit of the Insider. No, I'm just
And
kidding.
they actually show the pairs of animals going into this giant ark.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
are they like also like in a panic
Yeah.
like hordes of people are? I'm just kidding.
No, you know what's weird is they kind of like, it seems like they're trying to it's really weird. It's like an action movie, but
Yeah.
with Noah. And is Anthony Hopkins in it?
Anthony Hopkins, I don't know who he plays. I don't know if he's with that barbarian horde that's trying to get in the.
A barbarian horde?
Yes, that's what it is.
It really is. Like when you
Fucking
see Russell
Gladiator.
Crowe, the first thing you think of is that Gladiator. So when I think of Russell Crowe, it's like, oh, there's the barbarians that he fights at the beginning of Gladiator.
Staring at you guys really hard right now, like this is not real, and you're just like fucking with me.
Yeah, we're making it up. No.
No, it's like real.
Jennifer Connelly
Who's
is.
directing this? Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah, it's an Aronofsky. It's an
It's an
Aronofsky.
Aronofsky movie?
Yeah, it's Aronofsky.
That explains more than I thought it
Jesus.
would.
Jennifer Connelly is his wife. I think Emma
I don't know.
Watson.
Just it does.
Who is?
Emma Watson's his daughter.
Emma
One
Watson.
of his
Emma
daughters.
Watson's in it.
Yeah,
Who's the wife?
Jennifer Connelly. So it's like
Everyone's in this.
perfect mind couple again. Right?
Jennifer Connelly. But Aronofsky's not really known to be an action movie guy.
No, but like
But this does not look like an Aaron.
Oh, there's one point in the trailer where he has his staff. I think it's a staff, and he slams it on the ground, and like a fireball wall like goes out
that never happened in the Bible.
in a circle. It might be all the way around him.
That was Moses. I think they're getting.
This is a realistic take on Noah.
Obviously, it's like the gritty reboot of the Bible that we all wanted.
Right. I was just like thinking, like they're kind of doing the weirdest thing ever.
I can't with you guys. I feel like you're lying to me.
We have to. Hey, when that thing comes out, we got to all watch it and then do a podcast about
and do a
it.
riff tracks to it because what the fuck? Like
there is no way.
There's no way we're not watching it. First of all,
that is not going to be great podcast.
Oh my
material.
god, it's going to be so great.
I'd watch it.
Oh my gosh, my head is just like sort of seeping out of my brain.
Don't you think it's going to make a lot of money though?
Yeah, for my dad. My dad will probably watch that. It's like Teacher June's favorite movie.
Weirdest thing ever, man.
That doesn't make sense, though.
None of it makes sense. I couldn't stop laughing from the very first shot because he turns around and fucking looks like Maximus from Gladiators.
Yeah. Isn't there a point? Amazing. I read this somewhere, but isn't there a point in the trailer where he says, "The end of the world is only the beginning," or something sort of super?
Yeah, Emma Watson says something like, "Is this the end of the world?" And he says, "It's the beginning."
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna go flip over a table. Excuse me. What? No.
Oh my god.
No.
I can't wait to see that.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be amazing. God, I want that to come out right now.
I can't wait till like the water subside and then he has to like fight Persians or something.
Gino, did you have a question?
Let me see if I got a question. Actually, it's really interesting that you guys had those ones because I actually had one about fear and I actually had one about aliens.
So I covered both of those for you.
Yeah, so we should definitely have those if we're gonna do this format with our call-in guests. Because one of them was, do you believe in ghosts, aliens, and or Bigfoot? And then the other one was the fear one. What moment in your life were you the most scared?
That's a good one.
That's a good
so
one.
Let me see.
We could ask that.
Let me see if I can find another one that. Okay.
I can give you an immediate answer to that question.
Okay.
What moment in my life was I the most scared? You were.
Yeah.
This is funny because we're going back to that trip to the Philippines.
I have the same answer. I bet I have the same answer.
That is the most scared I've ever been on that little fucking airplane.
On the little plane.
I get goosebumps. I can't even think about it.
I think we held hands. Did we hold hands?
Should we save that explanation for the next one and start that up? Wait, let me give you my questions.
Wait.
Because
I was going to say, you want me to do a question? Do you want me to actually change? This one will be really quick.
Okay.
Have you ever been in a physical fight?
Yes. I've been in a few.
No.
Even like you're talking about like street fight?
Like street fighting or like you know, in like a karate class or like taekwondo class.
No, not like a structured class fight,
one where I have to get Vaseline on my face and like take off my earrings. I don't have pierced ears. If anyone was wondering.
Gino's like, I don't know. How to...
I don't know what to say to that. So yeah, that's one of my questions because I've never been in a physical fight that I can remember. Like I don't know.
did.
We need to get drunk and get in some
outside of like playground.
Yeah, Omar did punch me in the chest once, and I kicked him in the balls. But that was like.
And you say he's your best friend.
Yeah, your best. You have to kerfuffle a little bit. We were fighting over a guy, and we were in first grade. It's kind of confusing. What? I'll tell you about it later.
Wait, okay. Jabe, you've been in a fight?
Yeah, I've been in a few.
I want to be
good fight stories.
Do you have like favorite ones? Do you have like one quick one?
One quick one. There's one. Oh God, we need to get into this again because I want to take time to actually cook. There was one time we were leaving a club. I was with my friend Noy.
Yes.
And a couple other friends. All those guys.
Yeah.
And there was, I can't even remember this guy's name, but it was like one of his friends. We were walking out of the club, and he was trying to talk to this chick that happened to be black. And then this random black dude and a white dude walk up to him, and the white dude thought he was black, right? He's like one of those guys. No. But the black guy goes up to him and just starts talking shit to him randomly. He's like, "You can't talk to her. You can't talk to her," because this guy that we were with, he's Asian. We're all Asian, right? Yeah. And since it was an Asian guy talking to a black chick, he just randomly started saying like, "Don't talk to her." And the guy like started walking away, and so black dude just clocks this guy in the face that we were with, Noah's friend, in the face, and he went down like in slow motion. So like remember, picture Keanu Reeves dodging the bullet in Matrix,
Yeah,
and how he went down slowly like that.
Okay,
But picture that with his eyes like crossing, like he just got punched in the face, super slowly. And then we were like, "Oh shit, it's on!" So like we chase these guys down. We're like, me and Noy start stepping to these guys. He's got like the white guy, I got the black guy, and the black guy was a skinny guy, and we were trashed. So I don't know if I would have done that. But we were like, "It's on now, motherfucker!" And they're backing up down the street.
Oh,
and we're like coming at them.
Oh nope.
And I was like, I told the dude that I was my opponent.
Yeah.
I was like,
opponent.
I stuck my chin out. I'm like, you hit me right here. I'll let you have the first shot, and I'll take the next one. And so he was like, no. And I'm like, do it. He punches me in the face. And it does absolutely nothing. And I'm like, it's my turn, motherfucker. And just clock him directly in the face.
Nope.
I nailed him, and then he starts backing up, and then now he starts pretending like, he goes, come around this corner. He starts reaching in his, like, behind him like he's got a gun. And I'm drunk, and I'm like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, come around here, like, acting like he has a gun. And I'm like, thinking in my drunken mind, I'm like, does he really have a gun? And then I'm like, I feel like he would have pulled it out before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, if he does pull a gun out, I can probably dodge it and then take him down. So I'm like, fuck you don't have a gun. And so I start coming after him, and then he just takes off running. Him and his buddy take off running, and then I wasn't paying attention to what Noy was doing. And so they go around the corner, and then they come running back. We're still, like, a few minutes later, they come running back, and they're like, no, it's on now, motherfucker. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You guys just took off. He goes, no, you just bashed our car with a brick. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was standing here the entire time. I was like, what do you mean bash your car with a brick? Don't bash your car with a brick. That's so immature. It's so stupid. Get the fuck out of here. And they took off. Right after they left, my friend Noy goes, yo, I just bashed their car with a brick.
Oh my god!
So you bashed their car. I'm like, how the fuck did you find a brick?
Where'd you find the brick, first of all?
He was like, I don't know, I found it. He like, you just bashed their car with a brick.
That's amazing.
Wait, now you make me look like an asshole because I told those guys it was totally ridiculous. We'd never do that.
That's amazing. Well, that's a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah,
I was hoping to get more people, the more people we talk to that have fight stories. But because I was like, I've never been in a fight. So
I think, my questions, just really quick. One of them was I read this on another website and I was like, oh, this is kind of an interesting question. What movie that doesn't have a sequel would you desperately want to see a sequel for that movie?
Philadelphia.
I mean, you don't have to.
No.
I mean, you don't have to answer now. This is just something like to think of for next time.
Titanic. They do have a Titanic.
They do have a Titanic too,
which we're gonna watch on Netflix.
That's right. And then what was the other one? I think it was like something mundane, like favorite ice cream flavor, because I always find that interesting.
Mundane.
Yeah. That's fun. Those are fun. I have a lot of those too. Like just straight one word answers.
Like favorite ice cream flavor, and then
we're all gonna have the same answer: cinnamon ice cream, isn't it?
It depends.
For that time of year.
Yeah,
for that
specifically in Hilton Head, there's no other ice cream. It's just like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
What is mine? Well, I guess.
So I try to get it places other than Hilton Head, and then I just get disappointed. I'm like, I don't know if it's the time of year or the place, or I don't know.
You're like,
you just go to Hilton Head and you eat cinnamon ice cream.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, there's a really nice ice cream place here, Glacé, and they have it's weird.
It's like sorbet.
They put a country in front of an ingredient and it makes it sound very fancy. So it's like
the cinnamon came from.
Yeah, it was Vietnamese cinnamon, and I'm like, is that good cinnamon or is that bad?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Is that where cinnamon comes from?
Folks, let us know if that's good or bad cinnamon.
It could be shit cinnamon.
But we wouldn't know because it just sounds fancy.
Right. You're like, you go to restaurants and you see...
Doesn't cinnamon come from India?
I have no idea, man. I barely know. I know it's a bark, is it not?
Yeah, it's a bark.
I'd like to lick that tree. I don't know why.
That's also a good question.
Yeah, Good podcasting.
Good times. I'd like to lick that tree. Sri Lanka.
So for the next podcast, we should do questions, and then we'll try to narrow them down to something that we could ask.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it should be like a lightning round thing where it's like we each ask each other however many questions, and then we have to answer them, and then we'll figure out which had the best answers. That sounds good.
All right, guys.
This was fun. Again.
Yeah, this was a good. This
was fun
good.
again.
So thanks for listening.
To either have you seen or did you see? What are we going with?
Is it
I don't know.
Did you see or have you seen?
Did you see?
It's either,
I think it was Did you see?
It's Did you see? Show me your dragon.
Show me your dragon. I'd like to lick that tree.
I'd like to lick that tree.
Cooling cast.
Cool cast.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for listening. Hopefully
you.
you made it all the way to end. We did keep it at an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, I think this is a good length.
This was a really good
It is
length.
a great length.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a good length. It's
All
comfortable.
right. I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget, save it for the
Save it
podcast.
for the podcast.
God damn it, Ian.
Sorry.
Wait, are we supposed to say it at the same time?
Okay, ready.
Okay.
Do it one more time.
We'll wait 3 seconds. I can edit that
Okay.
out. And don't forget, save it for the podcast.
podcast.
Wait.
Jesus.
Yeah.